Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. You are welcome here to Financial Fun Friday. I am your co-host, Darlene Jenkins, and my other co-host,
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland, and this is being sponsored and brought to you by ABS Retirement Solutions, where we're always bringing you what's new and what's next. So thank you for joining us today. And for those of you that are joining us for the very first time, this is a webinar that we do at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the first and third Friday each and every month. And for those of you that are watching us on Facebook right now, we also broadcast simultaneously while we're here on the webinar. And during this show, what we do is we pull back the curtains to give you an in-depth understanding of not only the benefits you have on your job, but we also try to provide you with some of the best retirement options, strategies, nuggets, and tips to make so that you can have the type of retirement that you are looking forward to. Now, if you want to join us here on the show, where when you talk, we talk right back to you. Even on Facebook, you put it in the chat and we will talk back to you. So you can click the link or take a picture of the QR code, go to the bit.ly link, Financial Fun Friday. You can also catch past episodes on our YouTube channel at ABS YouTube. And of course, if you're on Facebook, like us right now, follow us at Your AB Solutions on Facebook. During this time, also in this segment of the show, this is where we do the check-in microphone checker 1-2 check-in. So if you could drop in the chat if you're watching us on Facebook or if you're here live on the broadcast, and let us know where you're joining us from, because we know we have people that join us from all over the countries, all different time zones. So just let us know where you're watching us from, and we will check in and see where you're coming from. And if you're watching us later on YouTube, drop a comment and let us know where you are watching us from. So before we jump into today's content, I also want to just, as you're putting all of your information in the chat, I also want to let everybody know that the information that we're going to be going over is going to be generic in content. And because we don't know every person's particular situation that are watching now, that may watch later, we can't tailor the information to you. But what we can do, if we hit a hot button for you, any of the information that we share, please feel free to reach out to us at 301-577-6340, and we can custom and tailor the information to fit you and your family's particular needs. So thank you so much for understanding, and apply the information that we're sharing where you feel, as I said, it fits your family needs. So Rita, do we have any check-ins? Because sometimes, it's hot. People may be a little shy today. You're on mute, co-host.
It may be important for me to come off mute. They're a little shy this morning, but they're in the DMV, and I think we got Nashville on, but they're a little shy today.
Okay, well, that's okay. Well, buckle up, everybody. Got your seatbelts on, you're strapped in and ready for this information, because here we go. And as I said, go ahead. This is the time. Go to Facebook, follow us, send out some texts, calls. Hey, you need to get on and listen to, what the Financial Fun Friday ladies are saying, because today we're talking about TSP. Did you know the TSP board is being sued along with the other people that handle TSP? Did you even know there were other people working with the TSP to help manage it? Yes, they are being sued. Now, let me ask you, if you knew they were being sued, can you put it in the chat to say, oh yeah, I knew, or no, I didn't know? Same thing, Facebook. Were you aware the TSP is being sued? So what's going on? I know you're like, being sued, what's going on? Well, let me tell you.
Question though, when you put in the chat box, if you knew that they were being sued, does it concern you?
Right, Rita. Does it concern you? What do you think about that? So you may be asking, why are they being sued? Okay. Well, number one, as you know, last year, TSP switched from one system over to a new system that was supposed to make it better, more responsive. They started offering, a new mutual fund that you all can participate in. Well, in doing that, it didn't quite go as planned. The company that was awarded the contract didn't keep up with what needed to happen. And so therefore the rollout was actually botched. There were a lot of processing delays. For a whole 30 days, you couldn't access your funds. People were trying to get withdrawals. Some were hardships. Withdrawals they were trying to make. Some people just wanted to move their money out of the TSP and they could not. In addition, there were also long wait times. People were on the phone hours trying to get through to customer service. Then there were some people involved in this lawsuit that said they were harmed financially. There was one person where I read, and we put the links up here to the articles, but you can actually just go to Google, right, Rita, and just put in TSP lawsuit. And you'll get a whole litany of everybody that's talking about it. And this suit just was brought at the beginning of June of this year, 2023. The rollout happened last year, June of 2022. And one particular person, they indicated, Rita, lost $28,000
in a month
because they could not get the money out. Other people, why it's so important to have access to your money. They were trying to get hardship loans. They had, were maybe taking out educational loans for their children, but they were trying to withdraw money out of their TSP. And as a result of not being able to do so, they had to go to the banks and get commercial loans that were maybe higher, had to go, some people, I don't know, they may not even have qualified for a commercial loan, but the overarching thing was, hey, this is my money. It was a provision that I could have access to it. I met the conditions in order for me to have access, and I could not get it. Another important thing that happened with this rollout is that not all of the information from the old system was actually ported over to the new system. And one of the most vital pieces of information that did not come over for everyone was your beneficiaries. So have you checked your TSP account to see if your beneficiaries are even still in there? Have you even taken the time to go and set up the new account on the new system? Because when I tried to call to TSP for my dad, he had some questions. He's a retired federal employee. We couldn't even call without having first set up his new account. And that's not a walk in the park, but you have to have your account set up before you can even now talk to someone at TSP. So have you done that? And last show on June 19th, go back and watch that on our channel. We were talking about the importance of beneficiaries, right, Rita? And by them not bringing that over, if something happens to you, who's going to get the money? Rita, you want to expound on that a little more?
But before we even get to the beneficiaries, that whole wait time and what they did, what I can remember helping clients that had retired, they did it in phases. So it's almost like you had to wait till it was your time for them to update the system for you. So in that time here, you could have lost money. Anything could have happened because you're waiting on them. And I remember a client was on the line. He was so frustrated. He was on hold for like 3 hours. And it was at the end of the day. And as soon as they got to him, they told him that they couldn't help him. He had to call back the next day. He was on another 2 hours. So he spent 5 hours on the phone waiting just for someone to tell him that he had to wait again. So it was very frustrating. It's like they did not, and I'm not, we're not trying to talk about TSP, but this is your money. We want you to have an understanding. And the biggest thing that, Darlene, you can go to that next slide, beneficiary. I've been helping clients the last year helping them do transfers and rollovers. And the biggest concern is that their beneficiaries are not there, or their spouse name is there, but not the email. And so one of my clients tried to put the email in, they did it 7 times. And every time they would do it, on their profile, the spouse in the email would show up. When they trying to do the transaction, it would never show up. And without that spouse email, you can't do any transfers if you're a FERS, because they have to get this email. So it was frustrating, and their beneficiaries were not there. And client after client said, Rita, my beneficiaries were in the old system. What happened? And so if nothing else, TSP, listen to us. Go check to make sure, because what if you're not married and you don't have any children, and you want your money to go to this one sister whose name you had up there before, but now something happens to you and you got 10 siblings. They about to split all that up with 10 siblings, because if no one up there, according to them, now your next of kin are your 10 siblings if your parents are gone. So you can give something to somebody who you don't intend to give. You could have a husband that you didn't separated from, but you haven't divorced. But guess what? He your next of kin or wife. Why? Because their system did not pull it over. So if you do nothing else today, go look at your account and make sure. And what we also found, Darlene, is that the names were there, but the percentages were not there. So they had the names, but not the breakdown.
Ooh.
So this somehow, in transferring the information, there was a disconnect. And you're going to be the only one who can come fix that disconnect. You can wait for them to fix their system, but just imagine all the people all over the world that have TSP, that they have to probably go batch by batch to try to figure it out. You should go in and fix your own problem, so that you're not the one that's going to be a part of this lawsuit, because people are not happy with how things went. And it was very frustrating. It was very frustrating for a lot of people, because we experienced it with them, trying to do transactions that they were not able to do because the system wasn't prepared, I think, for it. I think they wasn't prepared for what happened, because everybody, I think it was June 1st that everything was supposed to come online and people couldn't log in. And even today, so many people log in and they put their passwords in, and they keep saying it's the wrong password. They have to do it 2-3 times before the system catches. So I think there's a glitch also in signing in. So just be very mindful that this is your money, whether it is 50,000, $500,000, or 2 million. It is your money, and you should be able to at least know where it is, who's on it, and have a clear understanding of what that looks like. But one of the things that we could do that we help many people with is, what are the people are doing is trying to find another way to help them in this retirement process. What else can we do, Darlene, to help me as I think about retirement? What other options do I have? And one of the things that we have helping people for 20 years is giving them some other options when it comes to their retirement. We call it the TSP rollover option, is longevity insurance. And why do we call it that? Because at the end of the day, Darlene, most people are looking to do what? Retire. And they really want their money to last as long as they do. What we all want is to have money at the end of our life.
Exactly, we do.
We want money at the end of our life, or money short and we still living. That's not what we want. And so what's people is the right choice is coming up with a solution that has complete principal protection from downside risk. What does that mean in real terms? You don't lose any of your money. That's the beauty, right? Opportunity.
When the market goes down, Rita, that's important for people to know. Downside risk means when the market goes down, like it went down a whole point yesterday, and it's a roller coaster. It's up and it's down. It's up and it's down. And while you're working, depending on your age, that may not be a big deal to you, but when you're in retirement, Rita, right? Or near retirement, and it's going down and you need the money, that's a double dip in the wrong direction. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just think too that, many times we confuse the risk of working and having years to go. It's a different risk once you retired or within that retirement danger zone, which is 5 to 10 years before retirement or after. And so I believe sometimes, you did well but you was 30, you was 40, 50, but now you 55, you 60, and you're looking at retiring within the next few years, you may not want to take the risk of losing 20, 25%. And because of the economy, we don't even have to tell you, you've seen life is happening to everybody. Darlene just talked about that roller coaster ride, and you don't want to be on a downward movement when you are ready to retire. Like I just had $1 million last week, and I just lost 20% in the last 2 weeks. That's not just 20%, Darlene. I think sometimes we also confuse these percentages. That's $200,000. Let's call it what it is. That's $200,000. So that could be, for many people, that could be 5 to 10 years of income gone within a month. You have opportunity to earn decent earning. So we have clients that have earned 20%, 18, 10, 5. But the beauty of it is what she just said. You'll never have a minus. The worst case scenario is that you have zero return, which we call that zero is your hero. And then there's little to no fees at all. So depending on how you want to structure it, it could be low fees or no fees. And there's lifetime income, because that's the real reason why people want this. Why they want to know that there's an opportunity for them to receive a check for the rest of their lives. Because that's what that allows people to sleep well at night, to know that they have enough money coming in to cover all of their outgoings, their life. Because what it's about for us is us taking your dreams and your goals and finding the right strategy and the tools to help get there.
Exactly. That's real. And so with that, Rita, who qualifies for this option? Because it's one thing to have the option available, but do you qualify to get the option?
Absolutely. So it's anyone that's 59 and older. So that means you're still working. This is still an option for you if you're 59 and a half and older. If you're already retired, close to retirement, financially conservative, and don't like losing money. And for many people, Warren Buffett has this 2 rules of investing. Rule number 1 is don't lose money. Rule number 2 is don't forget rule number 1, don't lose money. So it's like he's a billionaire. He's talking about the rules of investing is not to lose money. And you want something that's a simple plan for your TSP. You may have outside IRA, you may have old 401k, stocks and bonds, and you want to have confidence to know that you have growth with no losses and you have potential for income. Or you want to stay retired with dignity without needing to go back to work, because many people, they take it all out. They don't have the right options. So now they're retired and they find out, Darlene, 10 years later, that the income stream that they have is not going to be sufficient for them to carry this life out. Why? Because they did not have a plan. They didn't talk to professionals, and they took all this money. Many people, when I'm retired, I'm going to pay off my house. I had to stop 3 people so far this year for taking out. One client owed $139,000. That's not a lot, but he wanted to pay off his house. So we calculated what he needed to pay off the house. He's 65. When he looked at, not only was he's going to pay high taxes, his Medicare cost was going to be expensive for the next year. To pay off his house was going to cost him $70,000 more just to pay off the house. So is it really worth it when you think about it? And any one of their spouse with an existing 401k, IRA, you just have money, say, I'm looking to move funds somewhere where I have safety, where I can sleep well at night, where I have growth with no losses. And so these are the things that can help you qualify for what we have.
And Rita, I just want to add, it's very important to understand your options when you are dealing with your TSP. You've left the money there. You're like, oh, I, trust them. I want to make sure it's going to be okay. Right now, while your money is in the TSP, and we're not speaking bad about the TSP, but you have to understand that's your name on the letterhead, but as long as it's in their plan, it's under their control. We just went through a situation with the debt crisis where they were looking at, hey, if we have to use this money, they have access to use your money. Yes, okay, well, they're going to, make us whole again. But in the meantime, while they're using it, what if you need it? So it's still under their control. And going back to understanding your options, I have a client right now who chose to take static monthly payments until the account was done, not realizing that it wasn't the same thing as having the annuity or payments that were going to go all the way to age 100, for instance. And now the payments have stopped because his account is depleted. And he has been retired for 18 years. And as a result of that money stopping, now he can't pay all of his bills. So
I'm sorry, Dr.
yeah, no, so I was just going to hit back on that thing again about the option of making sure you have lifetime income. This option provides you that opportunity without having, you're like, oh, well, I got the G fund, right, Rita? You're making less than inflation. But with the option, the TSP, and it's just something to consider, because even if you meet all of these criteria, you still may not qualify. So just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead, Rita, I'm sorry.
No, it's just when you talking about that person who, ran out of money, you think about it, retired 18 years in their 70s and don't have enough money to carry out their life. Now they have to shift things, cut off cable, don't have money, maybe have to have a child come help take care of them. That is something we don't want. And it wasn't because he did not necessarily have enough money. What we always talk about, that people confuse a pool of money with income. And in his case, he didn't get the professional help. He thought he understood it. So even if you have it, sit down and take 10, 15 minutes. Let someone stress test your own plan to make sure it is what you think it is. Because many times we don't quite understand.
Exactly. So with that being said, what's going to be right for you? It depends. Every person is different. And so what we're offering to you is right now, contact us today. Contact your Financial Fun Friday team so that we can help you map out a strategy to help you put all of the pieces together. You can schedule a quick 15-minute strategy session. You can go to bookwithdrrita.com. www. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I still like saying it. Book with Dr., and that's 2 R's, Rita.com. So that's the end of the show for today. You may have a lot of questions. You can give us a call in the office, 301-577-6340. Again, you can have a quick 15-minute strategy session, bookwithdrrita.com, and that's BOOKDRRITA.com. Well, this has been quite interesting. I see our participants on Facebook are still quiet, but that's okay. I know it's a lot to take in. Give us a call so that we can answer any questions you have, and we look forward to being of service to you and your family. When you come back, we're going to be here on the 3rd Friday of this month, which is going to be the 14th, Rita. I got it this time, right? Isn't it the 14th? No. Sure. No, I'm not sure.
21st. 21st.
The 21st. Come back on the 20th.
Because next Friday we won't be here. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's
it's okay.
She was on the 21st. Yeah.
14 days with the 7, but she forgot to count the 7. That's all. I know what was going on.
Yeah, it was. See, but that's okay, because when you come, we want you to bring one. No, bring 2 when you come. Don't keep it to yourself. Spread the good news. Share this. If you're watching us on Facebook, share this recording today out to your group. Give us a call. We look forward to seeing you on the 21st. Everybody have a great weekend.
Great weekend.